Hey, happy Thanksgiving, everybody. Thanks for joining us for this presentation of United Servicers, how to use Google Places and Google Maps to market your business using some of Google's free tools. I want to start by saying thanks for investing in your business and taking the time to learn about these services. Really just a few minutes a month, maintaining these, maybe an hour setting them up, and you're going to be off to the races getting your business in front of future potential customers. Here's what we're going to talk today about: building your Google Places and building your map. Some of you will already have a map, so we're going to talk a little bit about claiming it. We're going to talk about what kind of rules and suggestions Google puts in place and how they tell you to operate within their system. We're going to talk specifically about a keyword strategy that applies directly to the appliance industry. We're already working with about 35 of your colleagues around the country, so this is an industry we believe we know a little bit about. And then you're going to actually watch us build a map. So the feel of today's conversation is going to be theory up front, telling you why we're doing what we're doing, and then we're going to actually show you how to do it, and then we're going to open it up for questions and answers. So I'm Dane Benson. I'm sitting with my business partner Mark Maupin. We are right now marketing, and we're going to show you how to use Google's free tools. These are tools that we use for clients just like yourselves in marketing their appliance repair businesses. But I want to add one caveat. There are also tools that we use extensively for our own business. We don't just sell marketing services, we also own a dumpster brokerage company. So we rent dumpsters around Michigan and then in 4 or 5 other states around the country. We use Google Maps and Google Places for all the markets that we're in, and we use it to great success. So what we're telling you isn't just something we say you ought to do, it's something that we are doing for ourselves. So why Google? Why do we focus so much of our efforts on Google and Google Places? Well, 73% of all internet search traffic today goes through Google. I'm not going to read all of these statistics to you. You can read them while I'm talking. But ultimately, if you get the first 3 spots on any Google search, that would be if somebody types in appliance repair in your city, you're going to capture about 60% of all the views for that search term and that potential client. Now, I'm going to show you the difference in the next slide of what the difference is between an organic search or the free search and what a paid-for search is. What Google says, and this is just repeating exactly what Google says, is that 85% of all searches go straight over the paid-for ads and end up in the organic searches. Now what you're looking at here is a Google screenshot. The top section where it says PPC, paid-for ads, that's pay-per-click, paid-for ads. Those are really commercials that somebody is bidding on. So Michigan Appliance Repair, they bid the most, so they showed up first. Home Appliance Repair, they bid second, they're showing up second. And then Sears is third, and then down the right hand side underneath that map are more paid for ads. They bid at a lower rate. That top and that right hand column is what Google says accounts for about 15% of all activity on a search result. The other 85% happens in the free organic listings, which start with appliance repair, Highland, Best Highland, Michigan, home appliance service, and down in that screen we'll go down 10 spots. Really what we're talking about today is how to get into those 10 spots. We'll touch on some pay-per-click campaigns and some strategies, and I probably should have started out this conversation by saying that some of the terms we're going to talk about are probably new to several of you. If it gets a little bit over your head or a little overwhelming hearing some of these terms and vocabulary, just bear with us. It's all going to come full circle. You'll see how simple this is and how the free services that Google provides can really bolster your business. So Google has become the world's largest search engine in a relatively short period of time. They do that by making very smart strategic moves. They built Google Places and they built Google Maps ultimately to help drive their revenue. They know that when people are searching for products and services that they're going to pay for, that they're going to go to Google first, but they're also going to look for maps to find a local company. Google supports Google products. They own YouTube. They're in the process of buying up a whole lot of internet content. They've already bought some of the major names that you already know. but they support Google. So if you have a good paid or a good free campaign with Google Places and Google Maps, you're going to show up on their searches more strongly. It's an overlooked area. Typically, competition that spends a whole lot of money online just overlooks their Google Places. So this is a real strategic place for you to be if you have a small business and you want to show up and play against the big boys like Sears and A&E. When you get real strategic, we're going to show you this in a little bit, and optimize your Google Places account against keywords and locations and your company name. You're going to show up in several different places potentially on that one search. And really, this is a place where you can start building a relationship and starting a conversation with future customers through the Google review process and putting comments in, being able to reply to comments and seeing what your happy customers or unhappy, and how to deal with that, are saying about your company. Many of the examples that you're going to see today are around a company that's closely related to appliance repair, and that's Dryer Vent Wizard. We figured using somebody who's in the appliance industry but not a direct competitor of yours would help you see the keywords and the importance in a closely related field without actually stepping on anybody's toes if we picked a market that one of our listeners was involved with. So here's an example of a Google Place search. And what the results are. The red boxes we added to this slide so that you could see them. I guess a red circle down there with the map location as well. But you'll see how if someone had typed in dryer vent cleaning Miller Place, New York, which is out on Long Island, you're going to get a Places reply or a Places result search that has places for dryer vent cleaning near Miller Place, New York. They've added the near, wasn't in the actual search term. But you'll see the two map locations show up, and then an organic listing right below that that are for Dryer Vent Wizard. That's one of the strategic opportunities and strategic benefits that you get from having a strong Google Places offering. So here's a Google Places page, another Dryer Vent Wizard client of ours from Columbus, Ohio. You'll notice on this page that you can put a whole lot of information about your business. Really, it's a flyer for your business. You can have before and after photos. You can have the hours of operation, whether you take credit cards, a map location if that's applicable for your business, and then you can actually take a look and see what customers are saying about your company by reading some of the reviews. Here's the bottom of that page. It gives more information about the business, and this is, we're going to talk a little bit more when we get into some of the practical aspects of this, of how to build your business, by what to list here. This is where keywords and geotags really start making a difference. A geotag is just really listing a market that you service that somebody might be typing into their computer. So here are some rules that will help you optimize Google and really make your business show up toward the top of a Google search. And I'll start with a negative rule. Google does not like bait and switch practices. They don't want you to be advertising for appliance repair in Chicago if your business is in Denver and you don't cover Chicago. Don't try and dominate the world with your Google Places ad. Simply try to show your customers where you will go legitimately. One of the reasons that you're going to want to do this, even if Google doesn't flag it, is your customers are going to call, and if you say, sorry, we don't service that area, but they're looking at your Google Places site and it says you do, they're going to put a negative review in there. So make sure that what you're saying in your Google Places description of your business is accurate. Make sure that the phone number you use should be close, from an area code and that regional, the next 3 digits should be in the market that you're doing work.
So, hi, this is Mark. I wanted to give you a tip here, and that is, when I work with a lot of new businesses, they're already listed on Google Maps and they don't even know they were listed. So, one of the things you want to do is you want to go to the map section and just type in your phone number and then maybe type appliance repair and see if your location pops up under that. And if it does and it's unclaimed, that is good news. So, like high-five each other and say this is a good thing, because now you're going to be instantly on the maps, where some of the things we're showing you today is going to take a few days to get you there. So you have what is called an unclaimed site. And the good news about this is Google has probably got you listed only under one category, like appliance repair, where you now can get yourself listed under a lot of other categories, like refrigerator repair, stove repair. What's a high-end appliance?
Sub-Zero.
Sub-Zero. So that's like a great thing. So we'll just continue.
Saves you a little bit of time, and let me show you an example here of an appliance repair company that does not have they don't own their Google Places page. Google sets these up based on your business listing and your business phone number, and then you can actually see reviewers go and write stuff about your company, and it appears that the general manager or owner of this company doesn't even know this is in existence. It's a virtual brochure and chat room about his company that he has no control over at this point. Using Mark's technique of typing in your phone number and appliance repair will get you to your page. Once you're in Google Maps, you can just click on this button down here on the bottom right to claim your site. And I'm hoping this isn't somebody who's on the phone. I didn't think we had any Alaskan clients right now. So here's another rule. Google lets you choose your coverage map. Most folks choose a radius. The United Servicers meetings that I've been able to be a part of, I've noticed when it comes up to service area that this is a direct indicator of your profitability and the health of your company. Guys who try to service too big of an area without the scalability in their office tend to lose money. People who service too small of an area. So be very strategic about what you're picking.
Yeah, and then what it also allows you to do is to list it by zip codes if you wanted. So like if you were a Mr. Appliance and you had a franchised area and you can only be in certain zip codes, then you can choose those zip codes.
Exactly, yeah, zip codes, the name of the cities, or a general radius like what you're seeing here on this map. Use keywords to describe your business. A keyword is something that Google will search for. Really, one of the things that when you're setting up an online campaign, you're marketing to two different audiences. One are your customers, your potential customers, and what our services, our business really focuses on is incremental business and incremental COD business primarily. We're trying to find customers for you online and get your company in front of them so that they'll choose you. The other side of what you're trying to market to are the Google crawlers, the search algorithms that are out there looking for relevant content. What Google's hope is when a customer or somebody who's surfing the web types in appliance repair, is that what shows up in the organic content is relevant to what that person is searching for, because that's how Google stays sustainable. That's how they get customers to keep coming back. That's how they were able to capture 73% of the market share for search terms when they weren't anywhere near the first company doing this. A keyword is really designed to market first to the search engine crawlers, second to your customers. Customers generally won't see the keywords that you build into your advertising. They'll be in the text, they'll be in the grammatical structure of what you're doing. But Google's going to go out and look for closely related or exact match terms. So you'll see down in the bottom of this in the red box where it says dryer vent cleaning Columbus, Ohio, dryer vent installation, dryer vent repair Columbus, Ohio. Those are actually keywords that people are going to search for who need the services of Dryer Vent Wizard in or around Columbus, Ohio. And we'll go over more in depth how to actually use keywords when we get into the practical section of this event. The other thing that you're going to want to do is use pictures and videos. Now this is a side-by-side comparison of two different companies. On the right you see Dryer Vent Wizard of Columbus, and on the left you see Buckeye Stoves. Take a moment and consider which screenshot looks more professional. The one that has some high-def content, that has a logo, that has business hours and tells you a little bit about the company, or the one that just says Buckeye Stoves and really doesn't have anything listed there. if I'm a client, if I'm a customer, a potential customer trying to decide who do I want to work with, I'm going with the more professional looking company. This is where the option of having an unclaimed site and having a claimed site really becomes a strategic advantage for you, where once you've claimed your site, once you've built your site or built your Google Places, you can load up to 10 pictures and 5 videos about your company. You can structure the keywords and the services that you're doing. Now strategically, the photos that you have, these are all dryer vent cleaning photos. When you save the photo, so find the photo you want to load up into your Google Places and save it under your keyword term. Have the photo actually, because this might be Johnson's house November 4th 2012 is what's actually on your phone or on your computer. Don't save it as that, because nobody's searching and the computer's not looking for Johnson's house November 2012. What they are searching for is dryer vent cleaning. So you'll have this as dryer vent cleaning, dirty vent, dryer vent cleaning, clean vent, fully packed vent, dryer vent fire potential, something like that. You want the name of the file that hosts the picture to have the keyword terms in it. That's how the Google crawlers are going to find those pictures.
Yeah, so said another way, when you go to the Google map, the picture's going to show, but what Dane just described is not going to show, but the crawlers will read it because that's what you labeled the picture as. So again, like if your picture is of an appliance truck, you've labeled it, and let's say that you're a Detroit appliance repair guy, so you would have appliance repair Detroit. That would be what you'd label the picture, so you get picked up by the crawlers under that term.
Fantastic. That's a much better way of saying it than how I was going about it. Here's some extra things that you can add. The services performed in the service area. These are going to be keyword related. They're going to define your category, and they'll let you really create your own category. A few minutes ago, Mark was talking about Sub-Zero and being able to target certain brands that you service. Now I know many people in United Servicers really are growing or are very strong in the high-end COD business, and so this is a place where you can really differentiate yourself by putting in services performed, putting in some of your high-end appliance makers, whether it's Wolf or Viking or Sub-Zero, and then again a little bit more about service area. Make sure that you list the areas that you really want to work in and are able to service in a timely fashion. Encouraging clients to leave comments is probably the newest type of marketing. Over the last 10 years, with the advent of social media and Facebook and Twitter, people aren't so much going to advertisements to figure out what they want to buy when they're looking for a service or when they're looking for a product. They're going to the review section and they're seeing, what does somebody like me say about this company. So the more reviews you have, the higher you're going to get rated by Google, assuming they're positive reviews. The nature of client voice, I should say, is if you're upset, you're 10 times more likely to talk about it. It's much more compelling to tell a story about yourself being the victim of a bad service provider or of buying a crummy product. When you're happy with it, you just, hey, I made a good decision, I'm not going to brag about it. As the service provider, it is your job. It really ought to be one of the most important parts of every job, is to get good feedback, good, solid, strong feedback, especially from your happy customers. Encourage them to go to Google and write a review about your company. Encourage them through, whether it's a thank you email that has a link right back to your Google Places site, or a survey card that encourages feedback. But encourage feedback so that you begin the conversation, that other people can join in, find your company.
Yeah, I just wanted to add, again, I'm trying to say a little bit different way, but I work with hundreds of companies, and the real truth of the matter is most comments that go on Google are negative comments. People are upset. So if you want to capture positive comments, and this is just my opinion, when you're at the customer's home and you've done that extra little thing for them, or you've done a work that was incredible to them, they're excited about it, they're overthinking you, they're ready to fill out your form and give you a review on the spot, that's the time for you to spend the extra 5 minutes for them to log on to Google and put the comment. Here's why. If you take a look in Google, most appliance repair companies only have 2 or 3 reviews. So all you need to do is get 6 or 7 customers to do this, and now you're showing up with all pluses. You're looking really strong. So that extra amount of time separates you from your competition. And customers read comments when they're looking to hire somebody. So I can't express this is so important. The other thing is if you've got them at their computer, now they're ready to write about you. Let's add a few keywords for them and say, would you have a problem saying, instead of saying my company, could you just say, or you could say my company, could you just type in there, I looked for an appliance repair guy or appliance repair company in Detroit. So now you've got appliance repair Detroit. Because remember, we still got to write for the crawlers. So just kind of put the keywords in the back of your mind. This strategy works great. Try it out.
The other thing that happens when you start getting a lot of reviews is Google's going to want to show your company first. You got to remember you're going to be competing against lots of different companies in appliance repair, and Google needs to decide which ones it wants to put on the first page. If you have lots of reviews, there's a good chance that Google's going to pick you over your competition. You really want to list your website. We've talked in previous seminars about strategies of naming your company and naming a website that points to your company. In this case, we've got Dryer Vent Cleaning Palm Beach, Florida, and you can see the exact domain name is dryerventcleaningpalmbeach.com. When that happens in a search, Google actually takes the regular font and makes it bold to make it easier for their clients to find, because as long as that site has some content behind it that's related to dryer vent cleaning and has some references to Palm Beach, Google's going to think that's a perfect match for that client, and they're going to want to highlight it. These are different strategies that you can use for your own business. There's an opportunity to get multiple page listings in here, and this is a little more technical, so I want Mark to talk specifically about it.
So, I've worked with appliance people where they like on the border of a state, like maybe between Missouri and Illinois or Ohio and Michigan, and the comment from the owners are always the same thing, and it even applies to our dumpster business. Well, we're located here, but our customers don't call us because we have a different area code or in a different, even though my technician lives in the exact city and it's 5 minutes from the customer, because my business is located 40 miles away, they don't think I'm local. So Google has actually approached this by saying that if you're a business that services a customer, you do not have to show your address. In other words, if you go to this customer's location. So that means for people that have in this situation, say your technician lives in the area, now you can use your technician's address, and you can elect not to show his address on the map. So he shows up in Michigan in a city, and then you show up in Ohio in a city, it's your other business. So now you're in the local business, you've got separate area codes. Now you can get even a free telephone number from Google that'll forward to your regular number with a different area code. You can get phone numbers. So now you've got a local phone number and you've got more than one listing. Well, in our dumpster business, we have a whole lot of additional sites similar to this because we service a lot of areas. And you're going to see your competition's already doing this to you in a lot of cases. So we're going to show you the strategy, and you can elect to do it or not to do it.
Perfect. The other bottom thing on here is don't use a backup email address. Google wants to be in touch with you if they need to, so make sure that whatever email address you use to set these sites up, you're active on.
Yeah, so then I failed to put that in. If you create more than one location, you absolutely have to use a different email, a different phone number, and even a different website if you're going to show one, or different everything, because here's the main reason you want to do that is I've had customers that had multiple locations, and then their competitor or somebody complained about them, and Google took everything down instead of just one location. If you've got separate everything, then Google might take you down, but they're only going to take you down in one spot and all your other sites are up.
A little bit of risk management. So here's an example from our dumpster company of multiple page listings. Southfield dumpster rental is our, actually, you know what, Mark, you should talk about this.
So first of all, I want you to take the person next to you. I want you to slap his hand and say, this is good stuff you're about to hear. I want you to do the wave if there's a lot of people in the room, because this thing is cool. So this is what we're talking about when you have more than one location. So if you start at the top, it says budget dumpster rental. That is not our company. The next site says dumpster rental Southfield, Michigan. That is my site, or our site. Notice the site, the actual URL says southfielddumpsterrental.com. Notice that it has a different phone number. Notice that it does not give an address. It just says Southfield, Michigan, because we go to the customer's house, so we elected not to show that. Next under that is the local dumpster guy. Notice again, that is us, but this time it's Pontiac Dumpster. Notice I didn't give it the same name, but I am the local dumpster guy. I'm in Pontiac, Michigan, with a different phone number. The next site under that's Detroit Dumpster Rental. It's a P.O. box. That is not us. The next one is a Dumpster Rental Man. Well, we are the Dumpster Rental Man, and we're now in Shelby Township. Again, we're not showing the address. The next one under that is the Dumpster Pro, and it's located, let's see, the site there was for Dumpsters, Michigan. Then it's in Detroit, and that's us. And then it's all waste management. Now there's usually 7 map locations showing when you do just a general search. Like when I say you do a general search, like you type in dumpster rental, because a lot of people type in appliance repair, then whatever city their computer's located in, it picks up the maps. And the reason all these are showing up is because they're all relevant sites, they're close together, so when you do have multiple locations, sometimes you could end up being 3 or 4. In this case, we're 4 out of the 7 mapped locations on the page. Do you think this has our phone ringing? Hey, it does, and it works.
One other thing that I'd like you to talk about while we're looking at this side is the pay-per-click campaign called Google or AdWords Express that you'll see over on the right-hand side with a couple of our dumpster rental ads.
Yeah, so if you take a look at this, it says dumpsters and then a phone number. Now, AdWords Express is paid for through Google. Now we're back into that 15% category. We've chosen to be on this page. Actually, we're on the page more than once with paid advertisement. But notice we put the phone number at the top. If you look at some of the other ads, they do not show phone numbers. So here's what you need to know. This is a great strategy, because what's going to happen is when somebody elects to dial the phone number rather than click on it, you do not pay for the ad. So we track this, and we're at almost a 50% call versus click. So our advertising costs have gone down. So if you're really into using the advertising portion, which is a lot of times a good one, put the phone number in there right next to the appliance repair.
It's a strategy that'll save you money and gain customers. So we were just talking about AdWords Express, and it's an opportunity for you to launch a new market or to expand into a new market. When we open up a dumpster market, say it's 10, 15, 20 miles away from where we had already built a location and have customers, we're going to strategically pick AdWords Express campaigns to help get that going immediately, because it does not need to be indexed. Google doesn't really need to recognize it because we're paying for it.
And I work with a lot of people when they first go into business. You don't have a lot of ads out there, you're not established, you don't have the repeat business or the word of mouth. AdWords Express is an outstanding way to get your phones to ring quickly. Or let's say that you've now hit a slow period, you've got a lot of technicians, you need to keep them busy. You can increase your AdWords Express campaign so that you start to pick up business.
Yeah, absolutely. If you understand your cost of doing business, which there's a great calculator on the United Servicers website that helps you figure out exactly what your cost of doing business is. If you utilize that, you can be very strategic about increasing your cost of acquisition to keep your techs busy. It's a good business move when it's the right move for you. Here's another bonus that we're throwing in here. that goes beyond just plain old Google Places. This webinar will be posted, and these links are live, so you should be able to click on them after pulling this site back up, or if you're listening to it on delay, you can pause it and these links should work. But you really want to have your business listed in multiple directories. These are the direct links to Bing, Yelp, Yahoo, Best of the Web, and Hot Frog. Everybody's heard of Bing, Yelp, and Yahoo. Best of the Web and Hot Frog are equally credible directory listings that are really focused more just on businesses and getting you up there. But when Google says we want an authentic and credible result to happen when somebody types in a search term, they're going to compare what's on other directories, and if it's good enough for someone else, it becomes just a little bit better for them, so you get a positive vote, so to say, or so to speak, for your company in that respect. So make sure that you're listed. Any of these listings really only takes a couple of seconds to do. Let me quick click over on the Hot Frog listing just so you can see what it looks like. And assuming our website connection is good,
Yeah.
you'll see what it looks like. It's a simple form on all of these sites. It's a fairly simple form. Can you expand that just a little bit here? There you go. So you fill in your business name, address, city, zip code, and it'll walk you through the steps. It's very intuitive. You submit it. It's almost really most of these are just as simple as claiming your Google map. Okay, we'll continue on. Well, I've talked about reasons to link or to list your site on directories. One of the things we haven't talked about yet are backlinks. One of the things that Google looks for when they're trying to decide is this a credible company to put up is who else is connected to this company. It's just like we do socially. If you meet somebody and they're friends with somebody you respect, you got a little bit more respect for them. Google does the same thing, and they look at your site, your content, see who's linked to it, what's linked to it, what's backlinked to it, and it can measure that. That's something that's mostly invisible to the human eye, but to the crawlers it has a ton of credibility. And when they see your phone number, your website, and different content that's similar to your sites up on other people's sites, you're going to become more credible.
Yeah. Let me say it again a different way. Remember when I just showed you how all those dumpster sites are coming up on the same page? The piece that's missing for you is those are very relevant sites, and Dane's referred to that 3 or 4 times. And what makes them relevant is the fact that, let's take your map location. When you take and go back to the directory site right before this, and you list in all those directories, and you list in more directories, you're creating links back to your site. Google does searches, and they see your phone number, they see your address, they see that you're out there. So now that means that you have a very relevant site. So that's what we're talking about when we say that it needs to be relevant. And also the website URL, when you're putting a URL in, a lot of people when they start out think it's www. That's not what we're talking about. We're talking about you've got to put the http:// www dot in your website, because that makes it a hyperlink and Google picks it up and gives you credit for it or gives you a vote. So that's what you need to do when you list your site everywhere. I see that mistake made all the time. One more thing that we forgot to add in too, I'm going to throw it in now. We keep talking about keywords, and the average person, when you say keywords, they think that's one word like appliance and then the one word like repair. What it actually is, it can be a phrase. So it could be appliance repair Detroit, appliance repair, heating and cooling repair. Those are what they call a keyword. It's the whole phrase. So when we say keyword, that's what we're talking about.
Wonderful. We're just about to wrap up the theory section of our talk, and then we'll show you actually how quick and simple it is to set up your own Google Places account. So let me just summarize what we've talked about. Directory sites are very important. They give your site and your business online credibility. Making sure that your radius and the service area that you put into Google Places is accurate is very important. Using keywords to describe what you do and the services that you perform through your business is incredibly important. Otherwise, Google won't know to put you in front of that customer. Utilizing pictures and videos as keywords with how you've saved them will give you more and more credibility. Bragging about yourself and bragging about the appliances and the brands you service or the happy customers in your reviews and in your additional details is what you ought to be doing as a business owner to promote your company. And then pointing to the website that contains keywords will just put you at the top of Google Places. Now, I realized that a lot of this was fairly technical. I'm going to leave the screen up for a second. You can call me or you can call Mark. Those are our cell phone numbers. You can look at our services. There's a video link here. It's less than 2 minutes, I believe, telling you what we do and how we do it. It's a real quick capsulation of kind of the benefits of the stuff that we've talked about and a little bit more. But we're more than happy to help you. Really, the way this company was formed was out of Mark's teaching. We're an educational company, but we provide services for profit, and so we really take a lot of pride and get a lot of fulfillment out of teaching you guys how to do this for yourself. So feel free to call, and we're here to help.
I got to give my 12-second spill. What I want you to know is that we're doing it for a plus 30 appliance companies all over the country, and the original company I did was the Dryer Vent Wizard, and they've been with us since like 2008. But what you want to know is our business is on a monthly billing. We don't have any contracts. All those customers almost across the board are 100% still with us on a month-to-month basis, and that doesn't happen if the phone's not ringing. And that's what we're most concerned about in our own business, and would love to be able to provide you the education, but we'd also love to be able to get some of your business.
Perfect. So call us. We'd love to help. So before we get into actually building the map, let me talk about the keyword stuff that we've been specifically for appliance repair that we've been alluding to this entire presentation. It's critical that you have the right keywords because this is what people are searching for. This is using Google Analytics to determine how many people type these terms in every month. So you see, really in descending order here, appliance repair is the #1 search term in our industry for getting their dishwashers fixed or their refrigerators fixed. From there, it goes down into refrigerator repair, washer repair, dryer repair, microwave repair. Now these are evenly spread for the most part across the country, or really across North America. When you start putting geotags on them, the numbers drop a little bit, but these are all very, very healthy numbers, and you want to include these exact words in your tags and in your phrases that you use when you describe your business.
And when Dane says geotags, what he's referring to is it'd be like appliance repair Detroit, appliance repair Chicago.
Yeah, exactly. Sorry, geotags isn't a normal word. So here's how to do it, and this is only going to take probably 5 minutes. We'll be all done. We'll open up for Q&A. So you're going to go to Google Places. So type Google in, get into a Google search, and type in Google Places. This is what's going to pop up. And you'll need to be logged in to your Gmail account to do it. So you can see top right there where that number 3 is. That's actually a little picture of me in the far right corner, and you can see that I'm logged in as myself here. When you click on Google Places, this is a screen you're going to see minus that bubble that we put in. You're going to want to click on the Get Started Now button. From here, you're going to have to enter your password, or sometimes it just accepts your password because you're already logged in. If you have to sign in twice, don't worry about it. I had to. And then it's going to land you on this page where it asks for your phone number. There isn't much more to add about this. Put in your business phone number. Oops, let me go back.
Yeah, when you put your business phone number in and then you click enter and it shows with a map location already existing, then that tells you that you need to claim your map. So that's a good thing, because then it just moves this whole process forward and you can go in and edit the existing.
Exactly. Yeah. The next screen that you will see is asking for company information, and the screen goes down quite a ways. I'm just showing you the top maybe quarter of it, and then I'll show you as I fill it in. We're going to use a friend of mine that we're doing work for. He has a printer repair company. They also sell toner cartridges commercially for businesses and offices. So that's whose information we're going to be entering in here, and you can see the phone number already carried through from that last screen. So here's the company. It's called Kingdom Cartridge. He services the greater Ann Arbor area. We're putting in a 20-mile radius, but here's the address of the company, the phone number. I'm setting it up as myself under my Gmail account. And then the website that we have built for him is called printerrepairannarbor.com. You can see that at the very bottom of the screen.
Yeah, just to help you out, Google is very sensitive now when you put in the name of your business, instead of saying Detroit Appliance Repair, put the actual name of your company. I mean, if that is the name of your company, that's fine, but they do penalize you now because people try to feed keywords into that, and they're wise to that. So just don't be afraid to put your regular name in.
The other thing that you'll notice on the top of this is that highlighted box where it says no address was found for a business using that phone number. That means that Google had yet to pick up that phone number, and there was no existing map. So we're building it from scratch for this example. If your business has been around a while and Google has recognized your phone number, it's going to have a map, and that little box up at the top isn't going to show up. As I scroll down the screen a little bit, you'll see the printerrepairannarbor.com is at the top. It gives me an opportunity to enter some descriptive language about the business, and then 5 categories below that are going to be relevant content. Be as descriptive as you can. They only give you 200 characters, but Kingdom Cartridge, your Ann Arbor printer repair company, printer repair is the keyword that we're trying to load into here, as well as Ann Arbor. We love repairing laser printers something else, HP, Brother printers, and all printers that are not working.
Yeah, so you'll notice under the categories, there's 5 categories. You have to pick one category that Google has listed. In your case, it's going to be appliance repair service, which is the most searched. So now you pick that one. Now you can add another 4 categories. So if you're hot for Sub-Zero, here's where you can do Sub-Zero repair. Then you could also do appliance repair and list a city geographically, like Chicago.
Exactly. Let me scroll down. Well, actually, at the very bottom, you'll see, yes, this business serves customers at their locations. There isn't a centralized office that they're coming to. And then the bottom box, do not show my business address on my maps listing. That's what we recommend for appliance repair. That's what we use for our dumpster business, only because you'll cover a bigger market and you won't weed people out that way. Here's where it lets you choose the radius. You can see I've chosen a 20-mile radius marketing. If I had chosen the bottom button where it says list of areas served, that's where you could put in postal codes or specific markets. And if you look over at the map, that might have been Chelsea, Milan, Ypsilanti, Saline, Brighton. Or it could have actually been a list of zip codes. If, in Mark's example with Mr. Appliance, if you're limited to certain zip codes, that might be applicable in that case. When it comes to operating hours, you can prefer not to share them, or if you're emergency response and you're open 24 hours, that's a good bragging point. One thing I recommend though is that if you say you're going to be open, you need to have a live person answering your phone. If you're paying and doing the effort, doing the energy to get the phone to ring, make sure it's answered professionally. Don't be grabbing it from behind somebody's refrigerator and saying, what? Answer it professionally, or have a service provided that gets the customer captured in a professional, strong first impression way. So we scroll down a little bit lower, gives you an option to accept money. Put the ways that you do. Don't put anything that you don't do. If you don't take Discover, do not check the Discover button, because you're going to get a negative review there. But if you do take it, certainly put it on there, because there is some percentage of the market that wants to get their 1% cash back from Discover. And then we'll get down to the photo section next. I've only put one photo in here of a guy fixing a printer. You really ought to take advantage of using all 10 images for printer repair, or for appliance repair, and then labeling them correctly. And when I say labeling, it's what we talked about earlier. Make sure that you save as, and then use the keywords, whether it's refrigerator repair and then the city, or Sub-Zero refrigerator Ann Arbor, something like that, and you'll get there. You can also uplink videos. The same naming strategy applies to videos. Hosting them on YouTube really helps with Google as well.
Yeah, and after you build this map and it's all up on Google, your map will actually have a URL. So when we do our videos, and we'll add that later, we'll actually at the bottom of the URL on YouTube, it'll have a place and you can put an actual URL in for the map, pointing back the map. That's called a citation or link, backlinking. So that's one of the strategies over a period of time you can do. And then when we do our videos, we'll start to do appliance repair in the name of the city, or refrigerator repair in the name of the city. And you can do really short videos for yourself with like just your address, what you do, what you service, and that's really helping to make everything relevant, like what we've been talking about.
Exactly. This is all about having strategy and knowing some of the simple techniques for using it. One thing you'll notice is since we've gotten into this practical where I'm building a map for somebody or building a Places site for Kingdom Cartridge, is that I've only been talking about the left side of the screen, and on the right side of the screen this big radius map has shown up. But as we enter stuff on the left, it's starting to show up on the right down below. It's really, if you're wondering what that is, it's really just a proof of what we've been putting in. We didn't have any videos for Kingdom Cartridge, so it's going to really end at the photos. But then in additional details, this is where you really get to brag about your company, talk about different brands that you carry, different brands that you fix, and then talk about your response time or any other category that makes your business special. And listen to your customers for finding this out. There are a lot of things that you do really, really well that you take for granted. And putting these in here is important to customers. They don't have appliances break every day, so they don't see or do the same things that you do. And having a good ear to what they're saying will help you write better marketing, and that's really what this is just a marketing tool. Now, once you've clicked, let me go back one screen. Once you've clicked submit, you're going to get to a place that looks like this, and it's going to have where the postcard is going to be sent. When I did this for Kingdom Cartridge, I did it a week ago Tuesday, and the mail came Saturday, so it's not really 2 to 3 weeks. It's fairly quick. But the important part here that I want to point out is it looks like junk mail. It's from Google. It does, I don't have friends at Google, so to speak. Make sure that whoever the recipient is, anybody who touches their mail knows not to throw it away. Did you have anything to add?
Yeah, just if you're an existing business, you've been around a while, and you've got your phone number all over the internet, when you enter this, it could say, we're going to call you with a code so you can verify your map. So it might not be a postcard. You might get an immediate call, which puts the map up immediately. So just want to make you aware.
Perfect. Yeah. So if you're doing it at 2 o'clock in the morning, make sure somebody's answering the phone. Now this is what it looks like. So a few days later, I got a letter from Google saying, "Hi, this is Google. You're only 3 steps away. Here's your PIN number." I went back into Google Places. Here I am in Google Places again. Clicked on it. Same screen you saw before. I went back to Get Started Now. And this is where it ended up, because I was logged in as me, and it gave me a choice of the businesses that I had listed. Kingdom Cartridge was the only business that I have listed under me. So it showed up here. It's very intuitive where to enter your PIN. Enter your PIN, say go, and you're off to the races. Now, that does not mean you're on Google Maps. It means that you're going to be on Google Maps. So give Google a few days to process it. They even put a little disclaimer in here after you hit go that this isn't going to show up for a few days. And that's really that's our whole thing. That's how you get on Google Places. That's how you use the free tools to optimize your business through Google Maps. Here's our contact information again. We'd love to help you both understand this stuff, but ultimately we'd like to serve you by providing our full breadth of services for your business to help you optimize everything about what you do online. Okay. Oh.
Oops, sorry. Hey, Dane, thank you. We just wanted to say we really appreciate you listening to this today. We're going to open it up for questions, and feel free to contact us. We're glad to answer any questions.
Thanks. So who's got the first question?